Hello, welcome to Lil's Vintage World. This video is going to be a second-hand book haul. So every single one of these books that I'm about to show you is second-hand, be it from 3 different places. So I have second-hand from online retailers, second-hand from National Trust second-hand bookshops that they have, lots of National Trust places. If you watched a recent video of mine, you'd have seen me doing some second-hand book shopping at Dudmaston. Dudmaston Hall has changed things up, and what was their gift shop is now their second-hand bookshop. National Trust have made made it quite public that actually their second-hand bookshops are a great revenue for them, and obviously keep looking after the property in which, you know, they're looking after. So they're really, really important. So that's the second one, and the third one is my local charity shops. So getting straight into it with the books from National Trust Properties. Starting with this book. This is The Abbey Girls in Town by L.C.J. Oxenham. This was £1, originally from 1968, and there's a whole series of these Abbey Girl books. I've never read any of them, and I actually had this one. I was watching it on eBay, but then I saw it for £1, so definitely didn't need to buy it off eBay. No idea what they're about, but I think they go back quite far. I think they're from go back to 20s, 30s maybe. Yeah, it's a really, really long time anyway, and looking forward to reading them. I do like books set in academia, so we'll see if I like books set at boarding school as well. Although I do like The Worst Witch, so that's a boarding school, right? Then for £1.50 I picked up Madame de Pompadour by Nancy Mitford. I like Nancy Mitford, like her fiction, like Live in a Cold Climate, Pursuit of Love, You Get the Idea. I like those. Haven't read any of her non-fiction, and for £1.50 thought I would give it a go. I wasn't going to get this copy, but then I saw this was the inside and I was like, yes please. For £1, complete cover buy, I got this. This is Kings and Queens by Tony Robinson. Look at that cover. Yes, yes, yes. Who doesn't love this? Who doesn't love this cover? This has a whole host of different monarchs and illustrated by different illustrators. I particularly like this one of Charles up a tree, when I can find it. Where are you, Charles? Where are you up your tree? Here he is, Charles up a tree. For £1.50 I got A Touch of Frost by R.D. Wingfield, which I already own, okay? But this is the edition that I want. Unfortunately, the spine is completely battered, but until I find another one, this can take the place of the old one in an edition that I didn't like. I want my editions to match, okay? And this was the last one left, so I've got it. Hopefully one day I will find one which the spine isn't as cracked, but I don't mind it cracked because I crack the spine anyway. But yeah, so happy to have that. And then I couldn't quite believe that I saw this, but I did. As soon as I saw it, I ran with it. This is Patricia Wentworth, Who Pays the Piper, an Ernest Land mystery. I didn't get this one from Dudmaston. This was a different National Trust. This was at Croom when I went to Croom Court, and this is wonderful. This is there's 3 books of the Ernest Land mysteries. This is the second one, but this essentially is not a Miss Silver, and that's why I'm going forward with Patricia Wentworth now, because I've read all the Miss Silvers. But yeah, so happy to have this. Okay, ones that I bought secondhand online. Starting off, I have this one. This is Femininity by Susan Brown Miller. This is one that, again, was sort of like a cover buy. I saw it and I was like, oh, I like that. I just think it's fun. It's quite an academic book, and I'm quite surprised I didn't use it for my undergrad. I did sociology for my undergrad, but I just didn't use it. But it's all to do with the social aspect of feminine, so body, clothes, makeup, things like that. I'm intrigued to read this, but I think it'll take me quite a while to get around to this because I'm doing uni anyway. So when I'm reading an academic book, I want to read an academic book for university, so may not get to this soon. Then I picked up this book. This is Barbie's Fashion Success. This is from 1962. Barbie has been around, well, they were thinking of Barbie from the kind of early mid 1950s. Barbie officially was released in 1959. This is when Barbie is very, very young, in its heyday. Look at that. There's a series of books. They're not the easiest to get hold of here in the UK, but this is the one that I wanted to read first, so I don't know, maybe I'll be able to get some others soon, but I'm intrigued to see how they're going to write Barbie, and what kind of dreams she has for herself, so yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. Then I got 3 more Agatha Christie books. So if you watched a recent Agatha Christie book haul, you'd have known that I said I want to collect a specific edition of Agatha Christie books because the other ones, as much as I love them, the pages fall out. And as I'm such an avid rereader, I would like to buy some where the pages don't fall out. So I bought myself Elephants Can't Remember, which is a Poirot. Halloween Party, it's also a Poirot, look at that cover. This is Joyce, and Joyce is at a party, and she says, oh, I saw a murderer once, and then guess who gets murdered? In apple bobbing, so hence why the cover's so cool. And then I also got Peril at End House, which is a favourite Poirot of mine. So yes, 3 more. I don't intend on getting every single Agatha Christie book there is in this edition, but when I see them, as and when, and my favourites, I will pick them up in this edition just because, as I said, I'd like to read one where pages don't fall out. And lastly, for online, I got Grey Mask by Trish Wentworth. This is the first book in the Miss Silver series, and I saw this online for £4.50, including postage, which is a really good price for this because usually they're about £10 ish. They're not the easiest to get hold of, these editions. I don't know why, but they are stunning. So beautiful. Yeah, and although I'm not the biggest fan of this book, I couldn't pass up having it in this edition because it's lovely. And then lastly, charity shops, starting with Jake's Thing by Kingsley Amis, or Ames, I'm not quite sure. I was in a charity shop and I saw this illustration, and as soon as I saw it I was like, Quentin Blake, and it's Quentin Blake, so I got it pretty much for the Quentin Blake illustration. But this is about an Oxford Don who is older and he's having problems with his sexual life, so to speak. I really enjoyed Lucky Jim, and so I'm hoping that I'm going to love this one just as much. In a charity shop that I went to recently, they had books, DVDs and CDs, mix and match, 2 for £1, so I couldn't pass it up. I picked up this first of all, Monica Dickens' One Pair of Feet. I really like Monica Dickens. This book is from 1942. I want to say something like that. Is it 1942? Come on, is it 1942? Yes, April 1942. This edition is from 1952, so 10 years later this edition came out. It's weird, it doesn't look like it's from the 50s, but it is, it was published in the 50s. Yeah, this edition is from the 1950s. This book, as I said, written and published during the Second World War, and this is kind of like memoir slash fiction because this is about someone who gets, it's a woman who gets the need to kind of do war work and stuff, and so she's looking, oh, what should I do, what should I do? Nurse. And Monica Dickens was a nurse during the Second World War, so it's part memoir, part fiction. Well, it's fiction, but based off Monica Dickens' own life. Does that make sense? I think so. Really looking forward to reading this. I do enjoy books in wartime. That sounds strange, but not like that. You know what I mean? I'd have happily have paid £1 for that, but then I saw this. This is 84 Charing Cross Road by Helen Hanff. I own a copy already of 84 Charing Cross Road. In a beautiful Folio Society copy actually, but I do really love this cover. It's just, this cover was lovely, and 50p, for 50p, I'm having that, thank you very much. And last but not least, a beautiful book. Look at this. This is An Original Girl by Ethel F. Heedle. Ugh. It was on the bookshelf like this, and I was like, oh, that's intriguing with that policeman, and then I looked and I was like, oh. To be honest, I bought it just for the illustration, although, can I tell you something? The sticker, so this was £1 and the £1 sticker was here. And I was like, oh, why? Don't do that. Oh, this book is, I'm guessing from the 1930s based off the fashion. Inside it says 1939, but I would say from the 30s based off the fashion in the illustration anyway. To be honest, I don't really get what it's about. I think it's about someone called Christabel. I don't know how old she is, but she's a typist, and her father, I'm guessing her mother has passed on, but her father is an actor, but her grandmother's never really approved of him, and so grandmothers want to like to adopt her sort of thing, but she's like no. She stays with her dad, and then her dad kind of achieves big things. I think that's what it's about, something like that. But I'm very, very excited to read this because it's just so beautiful. Beautiful. And there we have it. That is my second-hand book haul. Let me know what you think to any of these books. Have you read any of these books? I mean, half of these books I have read already, so I'm buying them just to have in another copy because that is me. Why not? I'm not even sorry for it either. Why not? Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. I'll chat in the comments, and I'll see you soon for my next video. Bye for now.